So bad news for the New York Knicks. OG Anunoby is expected to miss more time. He's already missed, I believe, 18 games for us this season, and his elbow flared up after that Portland Trailblazers win. He played against the Kings the next night, but he was 1 of 8 from the field. So we are going to be without OG. Now, the good thing for the Knicks is if you look at their schedule, Denver Nuggets on Thursday, obviously on the road isn't ideal, but the Nets, Pistons, Raptors, and Spurs. So that's going to be 4 games in a row that are teams that aren't expected to make the playoffs, that are lesser teams. So at least we're going to be missing OG against teams that we have a strong chance to beat. The Denver one is tough. Hopefully we can figure out a way to win that one. But we do have a couple of days rest. Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's going to be Thursday night. Before the Knicks last night, even without OG, guys stepped up as they have done the entire season. We've been missing Julius Randle. We've been missing OG, Mitchell Robinson, and Isaiah Hartenstein. He stepped in. The Knicks have been an elite team when he's been in the starting lineup, and last night, that was no exception. 13 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block, and a plus 26. Miles McBride, to me, however, was the star of the show. 29 points, 2 assists, 9 of 13 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. McBride has been honestly the most interesting Knicks player this season because when we traded Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett to the Raptors, a lot of people said that the Knicks were robbed, that they lost the trade because they didn't have a backup guard outside of Jalen Brunson that was going to be able to step up, and that hasn't been, even remotely close to the truth. Miles McBride has actually been better for us than Emmanuel Quickley. We know that he's the best defensive player on this team, and he's shooting over 40% from 3. I mean, if McBride didn't have this game, we would have lost, especially in the first quarter. He was the one putting his team on the back while Jalen Brunson was dishing out the ball, but he wasn't exactly scoring points. And then the second quarter, Brunson started to take over late in the game. These guys were hitting timely shots. But I'm definitely happy with McBride because I've always said that if he can just develop more of a jump shot and be able to attack the basket, then he's going to be a very, very valuable player because we know his defense and what it brings. He's just 23, by the way. It's just crazy to think that Miles McBride's only 23 years old. He was a second-round pick by OKC back in the 2021 draft out of West Virginia. He just continues to develop. He is only 6'1", but I feel like he definitely plays bigger than that. I mean, he's just an incredible defender, and he's going to play a huge role for us down the stretch and in the playoffs. Jalen Brunson last week averaged over 35 a game. The Knicks went 3-0. 34 for Brunson against the Warriors, 12 of 25, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Brunson just continues to be one of the most impressive Knicks players in the history of this franchise. He's only been here for 2 seasons, not even 2 full seasons, so I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. But Brunson is putting together a run that I just haven't seen in a long time. I mean, I know Carmelo Anthony was an amazing player, but Jalen Brunson just time and time again, night and night again, just making everyone better and knocking down shots and putting his team on his back. I mean, the Knicks are 41-27, and that's with missing OG for 18 games and Randall for months now and Mitchell Robinson since December. So I mean, Brunson should be in the MVP conversation, and he definitely should be in the All-NBA first team conversation. And Steve Kerr did say that they are looking to recruit him in Paris this summer for the Olympics. I don't know how I feel about that because I'd personally rather Brunson be getting rest because to this point, the Knicks are expected to make the playoffs, hopefully go deep into the playoffs and win a championship. So I'd rather not Brunson be playing for the Team USA, but I mean, it's his decision. If he wants to, he can. He played last year, averaged about 11 and 4 a game. But Dante was good, 18 points. Josh Hart was incredible, had 10 points, 11 assists, 11 rebounds. Hart has 5 triple-doubles in 2024. I mean, he is just getting every single rebound out there, attacking the glass. Was off with a shot, 5 of 18. But Hart is still able to impact the game without scoring. And, of course, he had that layup at the end of the fourth quarter, about 2 minutes left, that gave him the triple-double. The thing that I like about Hart is you can tell that he's just playing the game naturally. He's not going out there and trying to get triple-doubles. He never knows his numbers, so it's not like he gets his last rebound or his last point and he's like, I got a triple-double. He just has no idea. So I just love what I'm seeing out of Hart. Of course, we gave him that hefty extension after trading for him from the Blazers last year, and he definitely is earning every penny of it. The bench was quiet last night. I mean, I'm being nice. The bench was essentially non-existent. I mean, we got just 15 points out of it. That's not going to get it done, but thankfully the starting lineup in Brunson and McBride were able to step up. And also Hartenstein had 8 points in the first quarter. Josh Hart, Dante giving us double figures. So if this same Knicks team can just show up every single night, they're going to be one of the most difficult to beat. Obviously, assuming with Randall and Mitchell Robinson back and OG, because you have to realize that when these 3 starters come back, that's going to push 3 guys to the bench, which makes us even deeper, which is going to be Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Miles McBride. To me, I don't know how I feel about just moving Mitch back into the starting lineup, because I'm going to show you guys a stat. So our record this season with Isaiah starting is 23-12. We went 12-19 with Mitchell Robinson. And I know that it's a different Knicks team. Maybe things will change. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. I love what I've seen of Isaiah in the starting lineup. I mean, he's a good passer. He's basically just as good. Okay, not just as good. He's a little bit worse than Mitch at pounding the offensive glass. Mitchell Robinson, before the injury, led all of the NBA in offensive rebounds. He was averaging 10.3 rebounds and specifically 5.3 offensive rebounds. So I do think Mitch is going to play a role for us, but it's going to take time for him to ease back and come into this. I don't think he's just going to immediately start. He's probably going to be on a minutes restriction. So I do think Isaiah is going to remain the starter. But of course, Josh Hart and Miles McBride will move to the bench. We'll be putting Randall and OG out there. So our starting 5 would be Brunson, DiVincenzo, OG, Randall, in Hartenstein, and then when Mitch gets healthy enough, we'll be moving to the 5. So our bench is going to be able to beat you in a lot of ways. I do think Bojan and Alec Burks can win a playoff game. And we saw that against the Kings. I know it wasn't a playoff game, but they had their best game of the season. They were knocking down timely shots. Jalen Brunson is incredible, but he's not going to be Superman 24/7. He's going to need guys to step up and hit shots. And I do have faith in Randall, but I have faith as well in these guys to be like DiVincenzo and the ones I just named to be able to step up and to score, because scoring was an issue for us last year. I think defensively in the playoffs we were great, but it's just offensively we need guys that can hit shots and that can create. And the Knicks brought in 3 of them, of course, free agency for DiVincenzo, and then the trade market at the deadline in Burks and Bojan. It's going to be awesome. I mean, Randall, if he does come back healthy, we know he's an all-NBA player. He's going to be able to give us 20-plus points a night, 10-plus rebounds on efficient splits. We know Randall can attack the basket and make it difficult, which is going to lead to open 3 balls. I mean, overall, Randall is going to be the most important player on our team in the playoffs. So we're going to need him to be Julius Randle, the Randall that we know he can be, because we've seen Randall be the most dominant player often, honestly, on the floor, even over Brunson. Randall is able to take over games, but it's just, can he do it in the playoffs when the game slows down a little bit? Not much, because everyone thinks the playoffs slows down drastically. It really doesn't. A little bit, yeah, but it's just when that happens, Randall's going to have to be able to read the defense and adjust and trust his guys. And I think Randall is going to be good, man. I mean, I can't wait to see him come back and hoop, because he was balling before the injury.